Well, Damian, you've had a couple of weeks to really reflect on Sale. Must have hurt the boys a lot, that result.
Yeah, I think the main problem we had with it was a very kind of, how I term it, Chiefs-like performance. I think the lack of energy and the kind of lethargicness that we kind of showed in that game isn't really something we kind of tend to have in our makeup. So I think the fact that we played that kind of way obviously hurts a fair bit, and the fact that it's our last home game of the season coming up is a good reason to put things right.
In terms of Quins, though, you're coming up against a side banging form at the moment. Yeah,
it's a side we know a lot about. You know, we obviously know that they play some very attractive rugby, but also they've got a nice physical edge to them as well. So it's a good test for us, and it's obviously a good way to end the season as well, as against one of the top teams in the country.
Speaking to a lot of the boys after it, in a good way, you had time to stew over it all, and you got a bit of hurt in there that you probably want to get out in the performance.
Yeah, now. I think sometimes it's important not to just gloss over a loss of that kind of type, really. I think it's one of those things that it's good to have a period to reflect upon it, just so you can understand for yourself where things went wrong and where things need to be put right, basically.
Rob's just talked about it though. Generally, as a season as a whole, lots of positives to take from it. Our first major trophy, better in the Heineken Cup. Lots of positives.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a great Heineken Cup campaign. I mean, obviously we didn't get anything out of that, but the fact of the matter is we've got more experience yet again, and we also kept against some top teams. And the fact of the matter is that we played well against them this year, and obviously took them to the wire. I mean, the first half against Cardiff was some of the best rugby we've played as a club. The LV victory obviously is a big thing for us, our first major cup final, and also the fact that we got there by beating Bath in the semis, and then Saints obviously in the final made that a bit extra special. I think the only thing is obviously we'd like to improve on our league position. We know we've let a few games slip or whatever, but other than that it's been fairly positive. Yeah.
The term we've used all season is small margins. I think 9 results have been by a score or less.
Yeah, I mean we've obviously slipped up by 1 point and 3 points, etc. quite a lot of times, and it's one of those things that we need to add that extra few percent that'll kick on it and put things right, really.
But when you look at these last 2 weeks, you've still got stuff to play for. This 7th place is still possible, and the chance of being in that new European.
Yeah, I mean it'll be a great competition. It's one that we'd like to be in, especially having been in the top flight European competition for the last 2 seasons. It's one of those things that it's a great carrot for us to aim for, and it's the reason why the season should end on a bang, to be honest.
And not just that, a foundation for next season to take into.
That's right. That's right. I mean, what will be in terms of the European Cup. But obviously, there's a lot of guys here who will be playing on the weekend who'll be obviously here again next year. So it's a case of we need to push forward and start laying some foundations nice and early so we can kick on next year.
For you though, a whole season virtually in the second row, brilliant for you to cement your place. And you look around the squad now, a lot of guys are getting a lot of experience in the top flight.
Yeah, the squad's got a nice, kind of settled feel to it, which is a good thing. I mean, obviously there's a lot of guys coming in next year who are high profile. Obviously we know the Murray Lowe's and Thomas Waldrums that are coming in, but it's been good to have a squad that's very competitive and is obviously starting to bed in nicely there. So it should serve us well going forward.